Howdy peeps on a overcast and generally nasty morning. I've been watching quite a lot of videos on YouTube and I noticed, along with Ivan Northern Modeler, that there aren't many, if any, based at beginners. People new to the hobby. People who may have just been doing the shopping, seen a kit of something on a shelf and gone, ooh, and just bought it on a whim, not necessarily having a clue what they're doing, or maybe having built something as a kid and vaguely remembering doing it. Just move another model out of the way. So I thought it would be a good idea to start and do a few quick simple videos on the absolute basics, basic modelling techniques, skills 101, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Now, as I was a slightly more experienced modeler, a lot of the terms that are used or techniques applied can be confusing. I mean, the difference between a sludge wash, a panel line wash, an oil wash, a clay wash, dot rendering, dot fading, filtering, all this stuff can really confuse you and mess with your head if you're not sure what you're talking about. So while I was on a recent spree, I picked up this, a Revell starter kit of the Snowspeeder from Star Wars. Probably an iconic film, an iconic vehicle, and I figure this is the kind of thing people might actually pick up. So you've got a little kit, and move it down a little. See, it comes with the glue, a paintbrush, paints. Not necessarily everything you need in a box to build it, however. There are some extras that you would need. So before I tear this all out of the packaging, I'll go quickly, as quickly as I can, through the extra tools and supplies that you might need or that will be helpful. We'll start off with, you need something to cut the parts off of the sprues, which is what the plastic frames are that the parts are all attached to. Now, being more experienced and having tons and tons of tools and crud everywhere, I use sprue cutters. These ones are by Tamiya, there are dozens of other makes available. But as a newcomer, you're not going to want to spend out on expensive tools if you're not sure if you want to do it again. So a simple craft knife, Stanley knife, hobby knife, that kind of, anything like that, which most people will have a Stanley knife kicking around the house. And if you're anything like me, you've probably got half a dozen of them, just no blades for them. Other things that come in very useful: cotton wool buds, cocktail sticks, blue tack or white tack or any kind of semi-adhesive putty, and for cleaning up of any parts, removing the stubs from where you've cut them off of the sprue, for example. Well, yes, you can buy sanding sticks and sponges and buffers from all sorts of companies, my favourite being the Ultimate ones. You can borrow, beg, thieve, steal. I mean, I bought a pack of, I think about 25 of them for £1 from Poundland. Just standard nail files, emery boards. Or if you want, you can actually use a very small file. I mean, I have been recently. There's one in my pile down here of tools I've been using somewhere. Yeah, you know the kind, the little jeweller's files. Micro, that kind of thing. Some kind of tape, masking tape, or not sellotape, but yeah, a masking tape. Excuse me again. Now we're lucky, and part of the reason I did choose this kit rather than an Airfix starter set, the models are of a similar quality. Problem is, the glue that comes with the Airfix sets is a Humroll, which I won't use. It's just, I mean, it glues stuff together, it's just messy and horrible, and the paints are fairly unpleasant. Whereas the Revell paints are actually quite nice, thin down nicely. The glue I do actually use, and the paintbrush is a paintbrush. So that in general covers the basic tools, bits, things that you might require that don't come in the kit. Obviously some extra brushes would be nice, as you might not want to be using that one all the time. In which case I get sets like these. Makeup brushes, also from Poundland for, yes, you guessed it, £1. You'll need something to work on. Most people use a tea tray or something. I did. A cutting mat is good to protect what you're working on, but if you don't want to go out and get a cutting mat, a piece of thick cardboard or an old tile or picture frame, anything like that, just to protect the surface you're working on so you don't end up putting gouges in your mum's or your wife's nice new shiny kitchen table. Because we know how much we get in trouble for that. Right, so we've bought it, we've got home, we've sat down all excited at our workbench. Let's open it up. I've already opened this up to have a look at the kit. I know what to expect from the paints and the glues and stuff, so let's stick that to one side. Now, this is classed as a level 3 kit. I'm not sure why, as it's only 23 parts. Possibly just because of the scale, some of the bits might be quite fiddly. See, nice artwork, picture of it built up, and the paints that aren't necessarily included in the kit. The main one of those is probably going to be an orange, but we can work around that for now. Typical Revell side opening box. We open it up, check there's nothing else in there. No. We get a bag with all our parts in. General safety and warnings. Again, if you're new to it, take a note, have a read. There's nothing in it too dangerous, but again, if it's someone young, you may not want them using knives or, oh, hang on, drop something, excuse a shot at the top of my head. Oh. And we get some little decals for the orange bits. Water slide transfers, not stickers. Didn't mean that to sound quite so condescending. And when it comes to it, I'll do a little vid showing how to apply those. Put them somewhere safe. Our parts bag and our instruction manual, which in this case annoyingly is a monstrous fold out type and can probably be quite daunting if you're not sure what you're looking at. And well, it all appears to be folded the wrong way around, but there we go. So if we start here, we've got basic pictorial advice on how it's not very well explained, but you know, a sprue map telling us what we're expecting to find on all the sprues, and then we're into the instructions. And it's nice to see there the new colour Revell instructions. Not overly clear on the dark grey bits, that's maybe just my eyesight. But in addition to giving you the colour codes, which will also be somewhere in the manual, here we go. Colour code A, B, C, D, E, F, blah blah blah. and it'll tell you what colours they actually are, and that one being in an awkward mix, but it just looks like a light grey to me. Right, and at 10 minutes I think we'll call that it for a first intro to, we've got our model kit, and let's see what we've got to do in the next video. I'll show removing the parts from the sprues and gluing them together. Shouldn't be too long. Keep tuned, have fun.